welcome to Ellibelle Yoga with Janis. I'm back for another session. We're going to make this one, it's quite a short session, but we're going to make it quite tough. So just be mindful of your posture throughout, lengthening through the spine, and just stay nice and strong. Use the core muscles to support yourself, and let's get going. We're going to start on our knees today. And we're just going to start by lengthening the breathing into the tummy and expanding through the chest just to help with the volume of oxygen that we can draw into the body. So, on your next inhale, extend the arms up, lift the eyes, and as you exhale, bring the arms into cactus. Keeping the shoulders nice and strong and down away from the ears. On your inhale, squeeze the elbows back, arching the back. And as you exhale, bring the forearms together and squeeze, curve the spine, tuck the chin. And inhale to open. So try and lengthen your breathing as much as you can. So you might inhale and exhale for the count of 4 or 5. And exhale, squeeze. Open, last one. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. And exhale. Squeeze the forearms, tuck the chin, curve the spine. Well done. Inhale, arms come up. Catch a hold of the wrist, and as you exhale, you're going to extend over to the side, working through the side body, just opening up through the side ribs. And as you breathe here, really try and breathe into the side ribs, expanding as much as possible, keeping the breathing consistent and as slow as possible. So maybe in for 4 or 5 and out for the same. Well done. On your next inhale, come back to center, change wrists, and as you exhale, extend over. Just be careful when you're here that you don't let your hips rock over to one side. Try to keep the lower body as stable as possible. Really pulling up on that arm to lengthen through the side body and those side ribs again. Inhale up. We're going to bring the arms behind. We're going to clasp the fingers together. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. On the inhale, lift the chest, lift the chin. And as we exhale, we're slowly going to bring the head down to the floor and lift the hands away from the lower back, keeping the shoulders drawing back away from the ears. Inhale, slowly come up, lift the chest. So all times keeping those shoulders back away from the ears. And exhale down. Draw the hands up, away from the body. And inhale up. Well done. Excellent. Just release those arms. Give them a shake out. We're going to start standing. So coming up into mountain pose. I'm going to stay facing you, but you'll be at the end of your mat. Just standing with a small gap in between the feet. Standing nice and tall, palms facing forwards, shoulders are back and down. Just be mindful not to let the back overarch here, so keeping the tail tucked slightly and lengthening up through the head, drawing the crown up and just tucking the chin ever so slightly. Just feel the strength in the pose here. Drawing the energy up from the ground through the body. Well done. On your inhale, draw the arms up. The eyes can look up at the thumbs. As we exhale, forward fold, swan dive down. Now you can keep a slight bend in your knees here, that's not a problem. And just let the head relax. Try not to hold it up. Just let the upper body fall and relax. And we're just going to take a few breaths here to help decompress through the spine. So breathe really deeply into the back area here, and that's just going to help expand. One more deep breath in and out. On your next inhale, halfway left, Ardha Uttanasana, flatten the back. So depending on how flexible you are through the hamstrings, the glutes, the lower back, will depend how high up you need to come. The priority here is that we're flattening our back out. So it might be that you need to be up here. But if you can flatten that back out when you're a little bit lower, you can keep your hands to your shins. You might even bring your hands down to your toes or to the floor. Deep inhale here. As you exhale, forward fold, plant the hands, step back into a high plank. Inhale, drop the knees, and as you exhale, lower the chest, keeping the elbows tucked all the way down to the floor. Point the toes. Inhale, lift up into a small cobra, keeping the shoulders back. And as you exhale, lower, tuck the toes, and push back into downward dog. So just reposition yourself so you're nice and comfortable here. Don't worry too much about your heels touching the floor. You just want to be lengthening down towards the floor. So we're keeping nice and long through the spine. Lifting that tailbone up, lengthening through the backs of the legs, keeping the legs engaged. Bend the knees, either walk the feet forwards or you can do a little jump to the front of your mat. Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, halfway left, Ardha Uttanasana. Fold. And we're going to reverse swan dive on the inhale, sweep the arms out to the side. Reaching up tall. And bring the hands down through heart center. And we're going to go again. So inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, swan dive down into your forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway left. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, step or jump back into plank. Inhale. Now, we're going to give you a slightly harder option here. So you can stick with the knees down first, but if you've been doing that for a little while and you want to challenge yourself a little bit more, what we're going to do is we're going to try and do chaturanga down into upward dog instead of cobra. So maybe just watch first and then you can join on the next cycle through. So we inhale. As we exhale, we lower the body towards the floor. Point the toes and lift up. So the only thing connecting with the ground here is the tops of the feet and the palms. As you exhale, back into downward dog. Bend the knees, walk or jump forwards. Staying in forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Shoulders back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive, bend the knees. Sweep the arms up, reach into the sky, and bring the hands down to heart center. One more time. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, forward fold. Remember, you can absolutely bend the knees here. Halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold, plant the hand, step or jump back. Inhale, and choose your option here. Lower the knees. You can even lower the whole body down onto your tummy again and do cobra, or you can do the slightly trickier version where we do chaturanga down into an upward dog. So choose your option. So on your exhale, lower down. Inhale, either cobra or upward dog. And as you exhale, back into downward dog. And just take a moment here. Spreading the fingers and the toes, connecting with the earth, engaging through the legs, keeping the back long. On your next inhale, you're going to lift the right leg up. You're going to bend that knee and you're going to rotate out to the side, opening up through the hips. It's almost like your hips are stacked on top of each other. As you do your next exhale, bring the knee in and step forwards into a high lunge. Up onto your fingertips. On your next inhale, let's sweep the arms up. I will struggle a little bit with this one, with my balance. It's quite a tricky one. So you really need to be engaging through the legs here, almost like you're trying to pull your feet towards each other. Now if your arms aren't feeling good up above you, you can bring them out to cactus. You can even bring them to your hips. Some days you feel a bit different, so do what's working for you. See if you sink a little bit lower. Keeping an eye that that front knee doesn't go in front of your ankle. Well done. On your next exhale, we're going to sweep the hands down to the floor. The left hand is going to plant down, and the right arm on an inhale is going to sweep up to the right. And your chest is going to turn to the right. We're trying to open up through the chest here. Now just make sure that your front foot stays planted firmly on the ground here. Your big toe's not peeling up. And you're really trying to lift up through that back hamstring. Your head can either be neutral, facing forwards. You could be looking down, or you could be looking up at your thumb, which is a bit more challenging. Again, just see how your neck is feeling. On your next exhale, bring the right hand down, step back into downward dog. Again, just readjusting to find your perfect positioning. On your next inhale, lift the left leg this time. Bend the knee, open up through the hips. So your left hip's now stacked over your right. Try and keep the weight balanced on your hands, so you're not leaning more to one side. And on your next exhale, level up tuck the knee in and step forwards into a high lunge. Inhale the arms up. And again, keep really strong through your legs here, almost like you're trying to squeeze your feet together, and also trying to squeeze your thighs together towards each other. Make sure you're not letting the back overarch. Keep that tailbone tucked. And choose your arm position that suits you today. You want to really add a little bit more difficulty. You can look upwards, really is challenging for balance. On your next exhale, sweep the hands down to the floor. This time the right hand is going to stay on the floor. And as you inhale, we rotate to the left, lifting the arm, rotating the chest, keeping that back hamstring pulling up, and the front foot firmly planted on the floor. On your next exhale, bring the hand to the floor, step back into downward dog. Well done. Either walk or step your feet forward to meet your hands. Hanging in Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. And exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive, sweeping up to standing. And exhale, hands to heart center. Well done. We're going to have a go at tree pose now. It is quite challenging, so please choose the level that suits you at the moment, and you can keep building your strength and you will progress on to the more challenging versions. But this is your practice, do what suits you. So, starting with your right leg. To start with, you could bring your foot to the left ankle. Next step is to bring it to the calf. If you're feeling pretty balanced and in control here, you can bring that foot up and dig it right up into your groin so that it sits down your thigh. Now, you must avoid the knee joint here. Please don't have any part of your foot on your knee. If you can't do that in this position, then you need to take the foot lower. So, lengthening through the spine. You can keep the hands to the hips. If that's feeling enough for you, just start to try and pull that knee open more, but without twisting the body. You want to keep everything else facing front, nice and strong. And just opening up through the hip. You really need to use your glutes here to squeeze and draw that knee back. If you want to make it a little bit more challenging, you can bring the arms up, either into a V, above, even into cactus. Just find what works for you. Well done. Couple more breaths here. If you fall out of this pose, don't worry, it's not a problem. Just take your time and get yourself back in safely. You can absolutely also hold onto a wall or a chair while you're doing this for extra support until you build up enough strength and balance. Okay, on your next exhale, if your arms are up, you're going to lower them down. We're going to bring the knee in front, but we're not going to let the foot drop. We're flexing the foot here, and we're squeezing the knee in as high as we can without holding it. as you exhale, lower it down to the floor. Well done. I know that other leg's probably really feeling it right now. All right, we're going to change sides. So remember, to start with, you can bring your foot to the ankle. If that's feeling okay, you can bring your foot to the calf. And if you're feeling happy there, you can bring that foot up onto the thigh, really lifting it as high as you can towards the groin. Now, to help that foot stay there, you really need to try and imagine you're squeezing the sole of your foot and your inner thigh on the other leg towards each other. You're trying to force them together. And that really, really helps with your balance. So once you've found your foot position, begin to open the knee without twisting the body. So squeeze through the glutes, open the knee, and then start to figure out the ideal arm position for you today. Today might be different to yesterday, and it might be different to tomorrow or next week. Some days your balance is fantastic, other days not so much. And you probably will find that you're more wobbly or more stable on one side than the other. That's perfectly normal. Well done. Keep fighting those wobbles. But remember, if you fall out, just safely come back in your own time, following your breath. There's no rush. Really pushing and grounding down through the foot here. Okay, as you exhale, if your arms are up, bring them down. Bring that knee round in front, keep the foot flexed, and squeeze that knee up. So really having to use your hip flexors, your abdominals here. Squeeze the knee, squeeze the knee. So this is really good practice for being able to step through when you're from downward dog, coming up into lunge or warrior. So this is what you're actually doing, trying to squeeze your knee in. Hold your knee in towards the chest. Well done. One more breath here. As you exhale, bring that foot down. Just give those feet a bit of a rotation. Well done. You've done great. I know that's quite a lot on your lower body here. Well done. We're going to come down onto the mat now. And we're going to start to slow it down. So like we did last time, keep the feet firmly planted on the floor, holding on to the outside of the knees or in front of the knees, or you can even keep your arms up. You're going to curve the spine, tuck the chin, and inch by inch, you're going to let the spine roll down onto your mat. Try to fight that collapsing feeling as you get to the shoulders, the neck, and the head. Well done. Bring the soles of your feet together into reclined butterfly. And just let the knees fall open. And just take a moment here to relax. Get control of your breathing. And see if you can return to that breathing that we started with, keeping it slow and steady. And see if you can challenge yourself to lengthen the exhale. So you might breathe in for 4 and out for 5, or in for 5, out for 7 even. Just see what you can do now and keep challenging yourself every day to see if you can just go a little bit further.